Hey, welcome back everybody. Today we're talking about what is next for Rust Console Edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between, and I'm Jade Monkey. Okay, so we're more so talking about what's most likely happening in 2024, although we could technically get another sneaky update between the already known updates that are going to happen for the rest of this year. Let me just cover that real fast. We do know horses are coming this year, as they're actively in PTB right now. It's the testing or staging branch. It's been a ton of fun. But we also know custom servers are coming this year as well. Again, a fantastic addition. Lots of people are waiting for that for sure. We're definitely going to be running our own stuff there, our own events, live streaming it, so on and so forth. But again, what we're kind of targeting here is what's going to be in the update if we don't get a sneaky update this year between now and the end. What's going to happen for us in 2024? And I think with the most recent update, and we'll touch base on this here in a second, not only is indicating that this is going to be true, but I think Underwater Labs is more of a possibility the more and more we start peeling back the layers. And where do we get that from? Well, we recently had a D11 survey that actually kind of showed what they wanted what they wanted from us so they could focus on it. And one of those items, yes, was Underwater Labs. And I definitely think that's more on the list now after seeing the PTB update that just happened. Well, it's relatively new. It didn't just happen by the time you guys are watching this. But not only with all of this here with the horses, we got NPCs. We also have the harpoon, and the audio glitch seems to have a major focus on being fixed, mostly probably because it was attached to the horse as well. You know, if anybody's been playing, you know that Rowboats and Ribs had the audio crashing. As a matter of fact, if you're playing on main branch, you can experience it right now. If those things are moving and you jump up, there's a high likelihood your audio is going to crash and you have to restart the game. Although on PTB there's been a very big push, a lot of stability, and we actually cannot get the audio to crash at all on the horses or on the boats. Which also leads us to, there must be a water focus at some point. We do kind of know that, right? Because we have those mission givers, but more importantly, we have sharks and harpoons that are actually happening now. And those really didn't get added until we had things like Underwater Labs. So let's go ahead and peel that back a little bit and show you also why that's most likely going to be a candidate for performance and whatnot. But let me just touch base on the fact that this update also comes with two fantastic vehicles, the solo submarine and the duo submarine. These all have boxes either on the outside or inside. They all shoot torpedoes. As the name would suggest, one's for one player, the other one's for two players or one player. It's really cool because you can recharge your oxygen inside of these bad boys. You can push them just like rowboats. And again, as you can see on the exterior here, we have a spot for like a toolbox like you have on what do you call it, on the rowboat. Jeez, I just struck out there for a second. That box is on the interior of the Duo. We'll show you that here in a second. But these are really great because you can go up and down. But another reason why I'm kind of leaning towards this, one of many reasons, this also was put in to kind of balance, well, the sharks were put in to kind of balance this gameplay because you need a little something pressing on the submarine drivers because they're just going to be going around deeping on boats and then rolling up on oil rig. So these did come in. They're a nice way to, the sharks were a nice way to kind of balance things out. It also curtails nicely into our NPC missions. Yes, we have those on the fishing village right now on Rust Console Edition on the testing branch. Let me just jump inside so you guys can see the visibility here. Beep boop. Oh, wait, there we go. And you can also fish off of these too. That's also very possible. You can see we've got, let me go ahead and turn that on. You can see behind us. It's a great way to like jump in and then just deep on somebody that's sitting on the back. You can see the fuel container there. It's really great for doing any of those underwater drops and whatnot. Very awesome. Really cool gameplay around this. So with this being added, it also was a part of the Underwater Labs. So let's go ahead and go downstairs and show you why this is such a big deal and why I think this is very, very possible for us at some point next year. I guess the earliest would be this year, but I highly doubt that. So this is a very unique monument because it's one of the true monuments that are procedurally generated. Now, I don't know how they're going to be baked in for us on console because I know they're hand-picked right now, the map seeds. But what that means is every map seed that you have, let me see if I can bring this up, upstairs. Every map seed that you have is going to have a different Underwater Labs, not only in a different position, but its configuration as well. And yes, you can pull the submarine up inside of here. These are really great because they have like really good loot inside. You've got some scientists. You've got this cool gameplay where you can kind of go in and out. You've got the sharks pressing on you too. You know, submariners and boats on top. So it just creates a lot more points of interest, especially on the water. So also, oop, there's a little fish out there. And yes, you can fish inside of here as well. One of the other major things with this is, and why I think this is going to occur for us on the console side, is because it's, and yes, this is a very sophisticated monument, and I know performance is a big thing for all of us, because we have to really plan for the lowest common denominator. And I hate to say it, I mean, it's the core systems, right? PlayStation and Xbox, you know, those day one, those core systems. But I think this is very possible because a lot of this happens underwater, so things like bases and whatnot aren't rendered in when you're underwater necessarily. Now, as you get to the surface, that does change. But since you're out of render range for a lot of these things, it's which is way more likely, right? And we already know boats, you know, can render things in fast enough, and really the submarines don't go much faster than a rowboat. I think they're just a touch slower than a rowboat. But I think that makes it very, very possible. And with the huge push with the audio glitch being fixed, and with the horse transportation, it does make a lot of sense. And it's also on that survey list, so I think they're going to try to round things out with that because, and also the fishing, right? There's a special fish that can only be caught in the moon pools of these underwater labs. So let me just kind of walk through here. Hopefully the sound isn't too loud. But this configuration has these different modules here. You can actually enter this thing with just flippers and a dive suit if you wanted to, and an air tank. Let's not forget that. But it's just a really cool place to traverse, and it's always going to give you like a different outcome because they're always different for those seeds. So yes, I do think this is going to be a strong likelihood that this is going to occur for us because of all those different things that have been added and the level of polish that's been put into the game right now. And yeah, I think it would be a great addition for sure, especially if we do have this stability and we have things like custom servers. I think a lot of people would welcome these with open arms. And yes, I still think other things like modular vehicles and minis are still a possibility, especially with those terrain updates. I think a lot of things are very, very possible with that new terrain update that came in. They've squeezed out a lot of extra performance, and seeing it go from less things with low performance, and now we have more things with better performance with the core systems. Things are definitely looking up. By the way, there's also computer cameras that you can tap into, and they are generated randomly with the procedural setup itself. So yes, once you learn what these codes are, you can go around and actually type them in on your base as well. I have them all blocked now because I'm in streamer mode. It's kind of a cool way to peep on a base. You can also do it from your base. Wait, did I just say base twice? From the computer station and then from your base. Hello, having a stroke. And I do believe there's a green card and a blue card in each of these. It could vary slightly, but yeah, for the most part, you're going to have all this really big loot in here, and there's actually different loot boxes inside of this area. So it makes looting a bit different because you're not really used to those types of boxes. And it just adds to the lore of the game itself. So either way you cut it, this year's going to finish out very, very strong for Rust Console Edition, and it looks like 2024 is going to be no exception. Looks like it's going to be just as heavy hitting as this year was. So we're very excited for it. And again, as I said earlier, one of the other major pieces after the horses, which by the way, if you have not had a chance to get in there and play it, do it. It's been fantastic. If you can't find the server, that's because you need to download the separate piece. It's called, just search in the Sony or Microsoft Store, Rust Console Edition Public Testing Branch, and you should have it there. Again, try it. The horses are fantastic, and the stability is even better. But more importantly, that custom server stuff's coming in after that, and I know a lot of people are waiting on that. So if you'd like to know more information, it should already be up on the end screen now, and hopefully we'll see you in the next live stream /video. All right, love you. Bye.